She's almost cute when she has the makeup. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye on the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was Engard, Matt Engard. He was trying to sneak his way... He's bouncing. Why is he bouncing? It's bouncing. Huh. Thank you. Weird, it didn't do the other. Maybe I didn't ever update that one. I'll have to redo that one. Usually a hand comes out of the ground. I got the old one. Okay. He's trying to sneak away out of Juan's room. So Mr. Engard came out from the victim's room. See, it has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. I shall. And I will beat her with a shovel. Miss Oldbeck, what was your post on that night? In the lobby. I was supposed to be helped set up the stage for the trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? Something you were interested in, and just what was that? It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip. Wish it to prove relevant, we can always have it appended to our testimony later. Looks like we shouldn't force it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. You... Just let my hair float behind us for a little bit. Oh, and then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Kurita's room? I have no idea. I wasn't born, so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? That's when I saw someone show up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of the Juan's room. He was. Yes, he was. I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have a Francisco whip right about now. Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was Engard, Matt Engard. He was trying to sneak away out of Juan's room. Yep, bitch. You can stop now. You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yes, sir. Really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get the sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are, really, if something like this matters. But it does. Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. Ah, he was wearing that on the detention center too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons, but he was in his outfit. Men. Right. So Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? It was very important, because you're saying he was in his costume. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what witness said about the jacket to append her to their testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness please. Oh well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must... He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket? What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it. She's so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption. She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us, really bad. No, it's not. But that's how the human mind is. It has also a tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Go with that. Oh, yay. I think it's right, because the sound stopped. This old bag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? It's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Now I know she's Obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here. Give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Engard's body during a full-body search. See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was the rascal Engard. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants. See? See? And Engard is the nickel samurai. Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Engard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe you'd think, but instead of wearing such a looking outfit, you'd agree this outfit's hideous, right? I've got track punch in my chest, let me tell you, it's heavy, so heavy, I wish I would have witnessed the CDs ages ago, but I'm keeping that dream alive for the kids out here and work hard with my face. Don't you understand that now? Take a good look in the mirror, your clothes are about as interesting as a documentary in curling, you could take up 10 or 10 itchy poo, he's got style, right? 10. Now hold your tongue still there for a second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Engard, the man, but Mr. Engard, the nickel samurai. But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway. Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgy Poo, don't you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. I didn't dress up. I had to work till 5, and then I just was like, it rained, and there's no point to get dressed. What is on my face? Yeah. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. All right, if you insist. What about you? What'd you dress up as? I should be the one sighing, not you. Who I saw. Engard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Do you think there could have been someone else inside the costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, youngins today, I told you there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. At least she's just delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Gosh. Who I saw. Engard. You sure? Would you please get on with your testimony? What's your language, young man? What sort of tone does that take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. Ugh, what? A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's a Nickel Samurai. She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. Okay. Promise, right? Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office on a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. The Nickel Samurai. It was the Nickel Samurai I saw. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not. Not too long ago. And let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be a judge, Judge Wagner, hero of the public court. So what? See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. Since when did court become theatrics for testimonies? Nice. All that matters is the man was inside the costume. Isn't that enough? Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear the costume during the murder. And why would that be? That way no one could see his face, of course. But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more. You are such an annoying child, you know that? You just agree with everything I say. Isn't that what you're always doing to me? I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume. He didn't know he had to go. Was there anyone else scheduled to be at the post-ceremony show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in the friendly gesture thing. And that included Jam and Ninja? Of course it included him. That's why when Edgard came out of Dear One's room, I didn't give it a second thought. I see. Well, anyway. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing Juan. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it was really the Nickel Samurai. As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one, huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony and sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, okay, now they're... Okay. I was thinking something about gloves, and then I don't know why, and I guess now I know why. Because if he was in his costume, he has gloves on. And if he has gloves on, he can't leave fingerprints. Oh, sorry. Okay. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That's exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Mr. Engard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for the fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as a Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim, but he brought the knife. The victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. The murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems? Yes. Yes. His theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Edward was killed. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Because he brought the knife. This knife, this was used by Mr. Engard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita, I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from the supposition one. Wow, my brain. Never seen it. Your theory, I don't watch much TV or movies. Your theory was flawed from supposition one. Though I am watching the anime of this game. I have to take it slow because I don't want to watch the episodes before I've done them. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprint shouldn't be all over over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Oh, order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? It's to frame my client, Mr. Engard, of course. To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? We just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness? Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo? Ugh. Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Engard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in the front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure. I know who you're waiting for. She wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai. Alright then. Who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Kurita, am I correct, witness? The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita. Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Maya is hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag! You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Engard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be even called such a thing. This manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I could throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. Witness? What in the world are you... Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this, a very bad feeling. I got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information. Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you, youngins. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this, really. It's not like we're 10 years old. No, you're just 23, or 26, or whatever the fuck you are. Secret information. That Engard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know, you okay? The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, is baseless gossip. But should this be true, this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful, the old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right, Edgard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Fit? Fit. Fit. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Alright. Secret information. Edgard is one evil man. Why do you say he's an evil man? You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. But it's true, the woman was getting intimidated with poor Juan. Intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Mrs. A.A. But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossip Land. What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between news and gossip. Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. Discrimination? When did I do anything like that? Anyway, Edgard will never get me to say touché. Touché. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days? No, I wasn't asking you what the word scandal means, even I know that much. Well, then Edgard thought that you could own a monopoly of popularity. Okay. Oh, it's my pajama top. I've had it for a long time. I just wear it. It means I'm lazy. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. You don't have any proof that Mr. Edgard did any such thing. You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right. You're right, I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that Edgard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan? No, probably not. I don't have anything to offer. See? Just as I thought, and you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You just give me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy. Me and my big mouth. That's the way the cookie crumbles for you, anyway. Couldn't condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. What actions did you take? So what do you mean by I took actions? Like, I already told you I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, you just changed shit. I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Unless she's saying, if. Something you youngins need. You were going to teach her a good lesson? I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this. No, stop. Well, it was too bad that the woman didn't come through the door that night. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that nobody else but you and me know, okay? Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information I know? She stole the camera, so no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Old Bag? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that. Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire. You stole the camera, didn't you? The investigative photographer Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note that she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrage impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? Ah, that's it. That's the note. No, you see, this is something completely different. I'm doing good. Hip is healing well. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you are the one who took Mrs. Hart's note. I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. An infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil Engard. She said it so herself. Engard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? If I let up now, she'll get away. Had to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is that correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terribly lonely trash bin, that's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. You stole a camera. But I'm paying this again. Miss Oldbag, that note was written with a that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweet $600 camera disappeared on me. Why, witness. What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera, too. Ugh. Looks like you found me out, Sonny. Is this the camera? Is this the camera you're looking for? That's... what? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrow is a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things. Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. I see an issue. This is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you, that's the guy I saw. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant, however. In his own confession, Mr. Engard clearly stated that, at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is... the defendant. But I don't think it is, and I already see why. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? Of course not. If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if we raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. I've seen this photo. No, not this photo, but I've seen the photo of the samurai in color a few times. And one thing I kept pointing out was that he didn't have shoes. Or geta, or whatever you want to call them. Sandals. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there is something strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo even with a bunker... There is nothing. Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Yes. Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Well, I had to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange? The fact that he has no feet? And I continually said he doesn't have shoes because I could see his feet. He's taller than this. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. What are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And? What does that mean? The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Engard. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is... Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all? Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? The person in this photo is not Matt Engard, and everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. Oh dear. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Engard. In that case, who is this person of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should focus on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. We're gonna say it's her, because it... And then they're gonna say, well, he sent her. Adrian Andrews? If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it's none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. Engard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engard that night. How does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. The certain knife with Mr. Engard's fingerprints all over it. A knife that was used as the murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, Wright? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews of the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order. It looks like the trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth, yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. The verdict cannot be passed without her first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day. Ugh. If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya... Now then, we shall set Mrs. Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn. Now then. Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. We must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear... I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? He knows. Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Tisk, unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. What do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Andrews is all. Hold on. That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all. Happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What is the meaning of this statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She's the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man? Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well, we will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness at that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. To be continued. Yay. We did decent. I only had to look up that one spot because I got confused. And it was hard to tell. But it's 10:30, so that's probably good for tonight. And my voice kind of hurts because I was practicing in my car on my way to and from work. Because I'm still recovering from that stupid post-nasal drip shit. And I don't have my vocals back yet. Alright. Bye.